Namaskar, students. I welcome you to this session, postgraduate diploma in yoga, and today we're going to know about the levels and states of consciousness in modern psychology and yoga literature. So let us go through the highlights of the session. The highlights of sessions are levels of consciousness in Indian philosophy. Basically, there are two levels, conscious and unconscious. Level of consciousness in modern psychology, the Sigmund Freud's talk about three levels of consciousness, conscious, subconscious, and unconscious, while his follower Jung says one more state, that is a collective consciousness. Well, talking about the states of consciousness in Indian philosophy, there are four states of consciousness: wakeful, dream, dreamless sleep, and meditation. And there are two states of consciousness accepted in modern psychology: conscious or wakeful state and altered state of consciousness. In the modern psychology, under the altered states of consciousness comes sleep, dream, dreamless sleep, medicine induced consciousness, and meditation or samadhi. So let us go through the levels of consciousness in modern psychology. In my previous class, I told you Sigmund Freud compares the levels of consciousness with an iceberg in a ocean. So when iceberg is floating in the ocean, hardly 10 to 20% part is visible and the most part is invisible. See, the top part which is visible on the screen is a conscious and which is related to your ego, while the part which is touching the surface is called subconscious, not seen in this screen. But subconscious comprises this births, impressions, experiences, and memories. The third level of consciousness, which is mostly unconscious, comprises superego, means are lots of shoulds, rules, uh, values. All these are in our unconscious, and also the id. What is id? Id comprises our instincts, drives, motivations, our human uh, development collected experiences. It comprises hunger, thirst, lust, etc. So these are the three levels of consciousness: conscious, the top one; subconscious, that is surface; and the unconscious. According to Sigmund Freud, our behavior is mostly, even the mental process is mostly affected by this unconscious part of the mind, of the consciousness, which comprises superego and it. Let us understand a little more about the conscious, subconscious, and unconscious. The subconscious level of consciousness is when we are awake, we are attending our internal or external environment through our five senses, and we are thinking, we are perceiving. The second level is subconscious. It is also known as preconscious. It comprises mostly the memories, experiences accumulated in this life, what we call in biology as a RNA. And unconscious comprises our fears, violent motives, immoral urges, irrational wishes, selfish needs, shameful experiences, unacceptable sexual desires, kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya. All this is unconscious. You have noticed several times that some people, while sitting or attending a class, might just chewing their nail, just scratching their hairs, swinging their legs. All these are unconscious activities. So, Sigmund Freud says that our behavior and mental processes are mostly affected by this level of consciousness. Then, what are the level of consciousness in Indian philosophy? I told you that there are only two levels accepted, that the conscious or unconscious. Some philosophy, like Mimamsa philosophy, says we are mostly unconscious. Why Mimamsa philosophy says? Because it means our mental processes, our behavior is driven by the unconscious level. And Mimamsa has its own, in addition to other philosophy, that that unconscious part is caused by avidya or lack of knowledge or the impressions, the sanskaras, which with which the soul is bounded. Actually, Svimansa want to say that all of us are born in earth as an individual with the specific set of impressions, sanskaras. What we, in modern science we can say we are born with unique genetics, unique hereditary factors, etc. Similarly, the Mimamsa also says that human behavior is affected mostly by the unconscious, and to bring the unconscious to the conscious and then expand the consciousness, Mimamsa suggests certain uh, Jnana Yoga, or a certain knowledge part and certain action to be taken. Similarly, the other philosophy hold the similar view, that we we does work on conscious level, but our behavior and our mental processes are mostly affected by the unconscious, and the unconscious is full of the past life impressions, the our DNA, our genetics, with which we are born with as an individual. So we are doing, what does Indian philosophy want to say? That whatever we do, we think, we behave, we achieve, even mostly it is unconscious. We do few a little with the conscious, though human being in modern psychology as well as Indian philosophy is considered the superior than other animals, because human being has capacity to think, capacity to make choice. And in Indian philosophy, those choices has been given as an option, from move from unconscious to unconscious, from purifying your impression from the soul. And in the about, let us move about the states of consciousness. In the entire Indian philosophies, we can find out the levels of consciousness as, in some philosophy, wakeful, then sleep, uh, sushupti, dreamless sleep, and the uh, meditation, or but specifically these states of consciousness has been particularly mentioned with their definition and description, and how to transform these four states of consciousness had been mentioned in Mandukya Upanishad. So according to Indian philosophy, Upanishad and yoga text, there are four states of consciousness. First one is called Jagrat, which means wakeful. Second one is called swapna, that is dream, and third one is sushupti, it means dreamless sleep, and turyat, which means absorbed meditation or samadhi. In the Patanjali Yoga Sutra, the fourth stage, which is samadhi, has been told that it can be achieved by birth due to our previous life sanskaras or due to unique combination of our hereditary genetics, our chromosomes, etc. And the meditation state, absorbed meditation state, samadhi, can also be attained through aushadhi, certain medicines, through tapa, practice and detachment, through chanting of mantra, and also samadhi. But the Patanjali says the fourth state, the of consciousness, which is a turyat, if it is practiced through systematic yoga, practice through meditation, through yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, then it can lead you to unbound your soul, purify soul, and attain the freedom from this birth cycle of birth and death. But the other four does not ensure. It means if you attain samadhi, absorb the state of meditation through by birth, your genetics, your hereditary factor, through medicine, through other mantras, there is a least chance of getting freedom. But if you practice samadhi or meditation and yoga for a long time, there are the chances that you get free from the cycle of the birth and death. In psychology, there are, I already told you, the psychology says there are two states of consciousness. The first one is conscious, wakeful, and the second one is altered state of consciousness. The altered state of consciousness in psychology is said that it is it comprises sleep. So in this modern psychology, sleep study have been done, and sleep study tells us that during the entire span of sleep, 90% time we dream. And dream sleep is also known as REM, rapid eye movement. During such a sleep, when we are dreaming, our eyeball tend to move most frequently up and down and left and right. But during the entire span of sleep, there comes a small period of time between 6 to 9 hours of sleep. It is a period of just 20 to 80 minutes. We call it NREM or dreamless sleep. In Indian philosophy, that is called quite a blissful state, and that state in Indian philosophy is called that it is the time when the soul is united with the God. The soul is established in oneself. Similarly, the modern psychology also accepts that the altered state can be induced through medicines, can be attained through medicine, and can be also be attained through systematic practice of meditation. So I thank you very much for watching this video on levels and states of consciousness in Indian philosophy, yoga texts, and modern psychology. Please keep watching the video, like, share, and subscribe.